We're working in Module 13 and we're all the way down now to Section 4. I want to talk to you a little bit about advanced filters. In Section 3, we went through and learned how to filter out our data. We learned that we could tell Excel what type of data we'd like to see, and it will hide everything that didn't meet the criteria. But there will be times when just using the drop downs will not work to give you exactly what you want, and that's where an advanced filter comes in. I want to show you how to create an advanced filter. It's really nice that we can click the drop down arrow and get a list of the different things we like, but sometimes you're not going to be able to use the down arrows to get the exact criteria that you like. One of the things we saw earlier was that if we wanted a list of anyone who was in the children's department, we could do that. And then also we wanted that person to be in the Australian division. We would just go over to division and choose Australia and click OK. But now I'd also like to add to that anyone in the art department who's also in the German division. Notice there's none of that criteria in the existing data, so there's no way I can get that. I call this a double OR condition. The filter has to look at each cell and make sure it matches all of the criteria. It'd have to look in the division column and make sure it meets Australia or Germany. And then it'd have to look in the department column and make sure it meets children's or art. This is where an advanced filter comes into play. I'm going to go ahead and clear all of this. And what I'm going to do is over on the right somewhere, I'm going to make a criteria table for Excel to look through. Now, what I have to do first is put in the names of the column headings I want it to look through. I want to use department. So I'll just copy that, and I want to use division. I'll just copy that over here. And the reason I copy it is because sometimes if you type department, for example, you might type DEPT period, and then there wouldn't be an exact match. It couldn't find that column, and you wouldn't get all the data you're looking for. So let's say that for department, I want children's and art. So I'm going to pick children's, and I'm also going to pick art. Now, if they're in the children's department, I want them also to be in the Australian division. And if they're in the art department, I also want them to be in the German division. So you can see I just copied these is all I did. And by the way, instead of right click and copy, the way I copy is I point around the edges of the active cell, hold down the control key, and then drag. Make sure you let go of the mouse first, but that's a quick way to copy something. Now I have two tables. This is my list range that Excel is going to look through. This is my criteria range that I want it to match the criteria to. You're going to start by clicking in the list range anywhere. The next thing you're going to do is, if you notice under your sort and filter grouping, here's an advanced option. And what happens here is it went out and selected the table I was clicked in, so it knows the list range over here, but it doesn't know the criteria range. This is where we have to tell Excel that. Now all I'm going to do is just move this out of the way a little bit, make sure I'm clicked where it says criteria range, and I'm going to select in this case from M1 through N3. And that's all you have to tell it. I'm going to click OK, and now we have our list. If you want to see if this really works, the best thing to do is sort either division or department. I'll go ahead and sort department. I'll just sort it A to Z. Now if you notice, everyone who's in Germany is also in the art department, and that's exactly what we wanted over here. And if you look at Australia, they're also in the children's department, and that's exactly what we wanted over here. That's how you create an advanced filter. I could add as many sets of criteria as I would like. I could even add another column if I'd like, and it would have to meet all three criteria across if that was the case. And that's how advanced filters work. Filtering is a great feature to pull out data you'd like to see and hide everything else. Well, that's going to wrap up Module 13. I want to move now over to Module 14, where we're going to talk about outlining and subtotaling in Excel.